Aries, how are you doing? It's 2025. Let's get a reading for you to see what your greatest opportunity or challenge or whatever big thing is coming up for you in the new year, baby. So let's get an archetype card for you. And that's Aries, Aries Sun, Venus, Rising, whatever. Definitely geared towards Aries Suns, though. Let's get an archetype card for Aries in 2025. By the way, if you're new, my name's Podkane. I do relationship and personal readings twice a month for right now, hopefully more in future. And you got the Messiah card, serving humanity with humility. So this is some way that you're showing up, it's your archetype for this important thing that you need to know about for 2025. This will be a two-part reading. So we're going to do just, let me get this the hell out of the way. We're going to do just the, well, this is as above, so below deck. So we're going to get first like the nuts and bolts and like the grounded part of how this is going to look for you. And then we're going to use the as above deck to see more about the spiritual aspect of it or what's happening mentally and emotionally with you. Let's see, Aries 2025, what's the most important thing that they need to know about coming up this year? Got the Seven of Wands, holding higher ground. Challenged by just the timing of the situation and something coming into your life as a part of a changing of the seasons. So this is showing you with the Messiah card here, you're going to have to continue to be humble and through a very challenging situation that's coming in this year. What's the basis of this? How did this come about? Extreme ways, isolation, but clarity. So surrounded by people who don't have discipline, who aren't in control of themselves. This could be people who have addictions or very impulsive tendencies, and you're going to be feeling like an outsider when the situation comes about because you have clarity and they don't. And that's why you're at odds with these people, whoever they might be. So what happened in the recent past? Well, what will have happened in the recent past to bring the situation about for Aries Suns? All right, it's a steady building situation. It was ongoing. Maybe this is you working hard, staying steady at a workplace, like you've been there a long time, and you know, or even just like you've always been the same. But this is a long building situation. What else happens recently to bring this about? King of Wands. So you might be promoted to a place of leadership, or maybe you already are one. You might also be a teacher, a parent, a thought leader, a leader of some kind. And you have a lot of dedication and loyalty here. You have a lot of persistence and patience also. And because of that, you're just with the wheel, it's bigger than people and choices. It's like now you're being tested, especially with that Messiah card, right? Now you're being tested. You've shown that you have dedication and persistence. You've shown that you're a leader and you use your power wisely and you don't use it to harm or hurt others. And so now you're being brought with a brand new, well, maybe not a brand new, but a growing to a fever pitch situation with people around you who are very much out of control, and you'll be feeling isolated or unsupported. You'll be feeling unsupported in the situation. You may not know where to go with this because you know what's right and what's wrong. But with the Temperance reverse, I got a feeling these people aren't trying to listen and they're not trying to change. What will Aries be thinking about? What's going to be on their mind through this? Your sense of self, and I mean, Queen of Wands, King of Wands, these are both your cards, Aries. Your sense of self-love and self-worth. Wanting to reach out a kind and compassionate hand, but having that slapped away. Lots of court cards here. So this is very much like interpersonal relationships and the people closest to you. You know, you do have a lot of self-love, but at the same time, that's going to be threatened. Like how much do you love yourself if you're trying to give compassionately towards others and hold out a helping hand, and these people are just taking your generosity and betraying you or taking advantage of you. Yeah, it's like the Jesus story, man, up in here, where it's just like you want to help, but how far will you take it? Will you, you know, this shows me that you are thinking that you're going to retain your self-love and your self-worth and hold strong boundaries. The Queen of Wands also is a court card of a person who is integrated, which means that it's not all sunshine and roses and positivity. There are dark tendencies in the Queen of Wands, and she accepts them as being natural to her personality. So when something needs to be cut out, she's willing to do it. When boundaries are needed to be set, she can do it. There's a time for sowing seeds, and there's a time for culling, really cutting out, killing things off. So, I mean, you're coming at it from the right place, but then the conflict here is just like you're going to be surrounded by these crazy, crazy people and crazy circumstances that you just want to help and give and give. We'll see. So what's going to be the next outcome for Aries suns? Eight of Wands reversed. Not able to communicate or things slowing down. Let's get some clarifier for that. Clarifier for the Eight of Wands for what happens next for Aries sun. King of Pentacles. So I would say definitely things slowing down. Oh, even the Six of Cups. Okay. I think that with the Six of Cups especially, you're going to be learning about how if you're going to give, do it with no expectation. And it's not just about, oh, what do I get out of the situation? I don't think that's really where you're at. You're beyond that type of conditional giving. Now you're learning about, if I offer help, there's a very real chance that it will not be taken, accepted, used wisely, anything, responded to in any way. And I think that that is where this is all going for you. What are they going to be the most afraid of in this situation? What's Aries sun going to be the most afraid of in this situation? What's their deepest fear of why this is coming up? King of Cups reversed. I mean, you don't want to be acting, you don't want to withhold your love. If you have compassion, you don't want to become jealous, cruel, closed off. You don't want to be closed off. You don't want to lose that compassion and care for your fellow people and lose those emotional connections, or grow cynical. Show me what this person looks like, or these people, or the situation looks like in Aries sun's life. What's their deal? What's their deal? Three of Swords. I mean, they could have had a recent breakup, separation. They separated from their job, separated from their home, separated from their family, separated from their loved one, whatever. And so this could come in as, hey, I need to move in with you, you know, with like the moving truck here. I need a place to stay. Can I, you know, go on your couch for a while? And you're like open-heartedly, yeah, sure. But then, you know, then it's like, how far do I set these boundaries? And what are they going to do with my helping hand? What else? Justice reversed. Oh, it's so unfair. It's unfair circumstances. Maybe it is unfair circumstances. Okay. But that's definitely what they're going to be saying. Six of Pentacles reversed. That's a greed card. So it's showing up here as kind of saying, they're definitely self-focused and self-interested. They're playing victim. Eight of Cups. They can't move on from an emotional situation. They keep replaying their own trauma in their head and re-victimizing themselves all the time. They are not on your level. I'll tell you that right now. And I know that you probably see that, right? But like, they are causing harm to themselves by not seeing their own role in the situations that they have found themselves in. Whether that's due to greed or feeling like it's an unfair situation, whatever it is. And, even, of course, making a generalization doesn't apply to everything, but a lot of times, especially in relationships, when we feel like we're hurt and we're victims, there's still something for us to learn about how we place ourselves in that situation where we didn't set proper boundaries, where we didn't, accept help when it was offered, when we didn't build ourselves up enough so that we didn't need to rely on someone or get overly attached to someone or whatever, on and on, right? This person is like, others are the enemy, others keep hurting me, and they're not looking at themselves to see how they made themselves a pawn to be used by others and attracted those situations into their life for XYZ reasons. Okay. What's Aries Sun's hope in the situation? No shot. Magician reversed. Aries Sun, really? Anything else to clarify that Magician reversed? Hope in the situation, Nine of Wands. I think that this is telling me that you want to be able to still maintain your boundaries that you've probably at this point with these three cards have fought hard for and learned a lot of lessons to get to this point where you are. You want to maintain these boundaries with the Nine of Wands because you know how valuable and important they are to you as part of self-love and self-respect. But the Magician reverse here is saying that you don't want to have to enforce them. This person is going to push you to enforce boundaries. Big time. Wow, I'm thinking of someone I know who's an Aries Sun. Okay, yeah. That they are not going to, as far as I can tell, get it. Your unconditional love, your unconditional giving is of no use to them because it's all their own issues, their own mental problems. Even if you're there coaching and teaching and everything like that and providing stability and teaching, some people are experiential learners. Some people never learn. Life is not easy for any of us. And, I think that you're really hoping that you're not going to have to set this boundary. What's the ultimate outcome for Aries Sun in 2025 with this given situation? What's the most likely outcome for right now? What's the most, let's say this. What's the most ideal outcome? What's the ideal outcome for Aries Sun? The Sun. And the Page of Pentacles reversed. Choose your own happiness, withdraw support. That is the most ideal outcome for you in this situation. And yes, you will have to flip that Magician up, right? You will have to do it. This person will force you to take action on your own boundaries and what you believe to be right and true in the situation. Damn. You can't help them. The Knight of Swords reversed at the bottom of the deck. Any support you give is, it's prolonging the inevitable. And remember at the very beginning, I mentioned people with addictions. They need their rock bottom. You're preventing that. I'm so sorry that you got caught up in this situation, but there's a learning experience for you too as well. The Messiah. You're very giving and wise and compassionate. But at the end of the day, this is a new form of compassion that you haven't encountered yet, not to this degree. This is a compassion to let someone fail, trust in the universe and in your higher self and your higher powers, that you are meant to choose yourself, that it's okay for you to choose yourself, that this person's highest good is actually abandonment and total self. Okay, if there's no one else around to either lean on to distract or to blame and depersonalize their problems, then there's no one else to look at other than the mirror. And that's a cruelty of life, but it's a very powerful teacher. And those that are compassionate and humble, they think of I think too often, especially Aries, it's like you think too often, and you're the most compassionate sign, by the way. I don't know if anyone's told you that, but you are absolutely the most compassionate sign, period. Don't care who wants to argue about it. But too often, Aries is going to look at others and expect them, and this is universal too, but expect them to think and behave and respond the way they would think and behave and respond. So Aries is going to look at someone who is struggling and saying, "Hey, I've been treated badly, and this shit's bad. I need your help." And they're going to say, "If I reached out to someone and said, 'Shit's bad, I need help,' I would want someone to help me, and I would not betray that help. I would use it to get back up on my feet, doing my own thing, because I am a fighter and a warrior and a survivor." And so often Aries also participate in and you are in 2025. Okay. If this is your reading, you're still here, right? Too often the Aries is going to, also depersonalize their own thoughts, feelings, and opinions onto others. I would never betray the help that was given. So, and it's subconscious too. Like, you're not actively thinking about this, but like, you're expecting them to treat you the way you would treat them. And people are very, very different out there. People have, especially someone who's in an addiction state of mind and they're in survival mode or victimhood mode. It's never their fault. Their ego is very fragile. Their discipline is very weak, very weak, very weak. They're in their own minds. If it comes down to it, and they're considering, do I do this today? That's going to be for my, long-term best interest, but it's hard and it's boring and it's not fun. Or do I do this other thing that like gives me a little high or, makes me feel good, or it's just easy and it comes natural? I mean, they're going to go for the easy and comes natural because it's like instant gratification, and it, we'll worry about tomorrow, and tomorrow is going to be the same thing. It's very in the immediate moment because it's a survival mechanism. When humans or animals are in a state of survival, the concern is for the moment, because tomorrow we might be dead. And, discipline, if it doesn't relate directly to survival. And it's weird that, like, with humans especially, like, what we consider survival is indulgence. All right, let's get the higher perspective here on Aries Sun situation with this person, these people, and this situation that is really taxing their humility and their good nature and generosity. What's them in the situation? Aries Sun in the situation. Okay. This one's a little beat up. She's got tape on it, but it's the Ace of Pentacles. And that's the offer of material wealth, offer of security, stability, loans, money in general, opportunities. What's the challenge? What's challenging, or what's an obstacle to Aries Sun? The Four of Swords. It's a challenge to let that go. It's a challenge to take a new path and a new direction. It's a challenge to trust your intuition too, because there's a part of you that knows that something's off. Maiden of Fire. I mean, you're just now building momentum with your finances, and due to not listening to your higher self and your inner wisdom and this part of yourself that knows that this is not helping anyone and it's really hurting you, that's just totally disempowered you. You were just getting started with this building situation of building your wealth. Like maybe you just bought a house, or you just started saving for retirement, or you just got out of debt. And now this person has come in and fucked all of that. And this is, okay, so this is like, it's not just about your resources, but it's about your using your intuition to wisely build and preserve those resources. Okay. So what happened to lead up to this in a spiritual higher position, higher self sense? Fraught with emotions, crazy emotions. Ten of Swords reversed and Justice reversed. I think that there has been harm done to you in your past, that you looked at this other person's situation and saw a lot of similarities and parallels. And because it felt unfair to you, and maybe it was, and because it was very destructive, even self-destructive time for you, and your emotions were highly caught up in the situation, which prevented you from trusting like that inner voice within yourself, your gut. Emotions are not your intuition. It's such a hard thing to describe. It's like the emotions come and go by the minute, by the hour, by the day, and by the month, you know. I mean, they can persist, but the intuition is something that just remains constant. It's quiet. When you're at your most peaceful, it's your truth. It's a little different for everyone how they interact with their intuition, which is another reason why it's so difficult to explain in plain English. What was at the, like, what was like a possibility here with how things could go? What's a possibility with how things could go for Aries Sun? Maybe if, yeah, total disconnection and things not ending that need to end. Financial opportunities drying up. Reversal with both of these, where you could completely impoverish yourself. Holy shit. I mean, it's just like you have a responsibility to preserve yourself. All of us do. And that's really what's at the end of the road here. With the Messiah card, girl, how far will a giving, compassionate person destroy themselves to the benefit of someone else? Especially someone who's already participating in self-destruction without benefiting anyone. They're taking from others and they're destroying themselves. What worthiness. I mean, that probably never crosses your mind. This is tough. This is big too. This is a big learning opportunity for you. What's next? I mean, yeah, further degradation of wealth acquisition, security. This could also be just a feeling of like resentment. What could have been? Because now there's some level of clear-sightedness here about how much in the hole you've gone to support this person. And so if this isn't cut, there will be more and more resentment in you. Where it's like, look at where I would have been, you know, I just had everything getting started for me and I was about to pop off and have all my, you know, financial goals and my security and everything. I was doing so good. And then here you are. And because of you, now I don't have any of that. Now I spend all my money. Now I'm back into debt. And then the King of Wands reversed, which means you grow bitter, you grow controlling. If you have power over this person, you start abusing it. This is a very shadowy aspect of yourself, Aries, that you do not want to go there. Not after what I saw in that last reading with all of them, the same card upright and everything else that you fought for and worked so hard for. This will destroy you in more than one way if you let it continue. What's the word of warning for Aries Sun? What's the word of warning for Aries Sun in this situation? Word of warning from source. What is the word of warning? The word of warning is that delaying this situation will deny you many opportunities. Delaying the situation will repulse others away from you that want to come towards you, including love. Thinking that there's a better time to do this will continue to degrade your finances, of course, but this is the Venus card, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune here reversed. There's so many more things about Venus. It's just our ability to attract. And so if you're going further into resentment and trying to control the person and control others, or just this could even just be like becoming very irritable, stressed, angry. It could turn into vengeance, but it's definitely stressed, irritable, angry, and controlling over what you can control. Even if that's not this person in the situation, it's like, if you feel so disempowered, you're going to be looking for situations that you can control. Even situations in your family could affect your whole family. And so the warning here is, now is the time. We already got this card in the last reading, upright. Now is the time. And if you think that, oh, give another 3 months, give another 6 months, give another 9 months, you're going to be spiraling faster now, because you already know. You already damn well know. And that's going to be like a repellent to everything enjoyable in your life. Like on a spiritual level. It's vague because it's all encompassing. It's talking about relationships and enjoyment and pleasures and wealth and luxury and money, security, finance, everything. Like, it's going to be crazy. Okay, so what is the highest good for the person involved? What is their highest good? What does their soul need at this time? What does their soul need at this time? I got an overactive mental state. That's for damn sure. They need to disengage from what others are telling them, and disengage from what their own they may even need severe, like, actual mental health help. But, let your intuition and the realities of your personal situation guide you on what to think about that. But they are in need of a complete slowdown, shutdown, or hiatus of this mental story, the story that they've been telling themselves. They could have high anxiety. And with this, the familiar card reverse, this is like everyone around that's helping, that's talking, that's saying, you should do this, or you should do that, or what about this, what about that? They need everyone out. At all costs. The Five of Swords. They need to be alone to know themselves. There's so much chatter and clutter and everything else. Like, and this doesn't even necessarily have to be you that's in their head. It could be like social media, or like other friends and family, or like, what society thinks in their opinion, and all kinds of shit. They need to be alone with themselves. They don't know themselves. All right. What is the word of solace for Aries Sun in the situation? There's some big ones here. Okay. Even if you feel like you have no more tears to cry, even if you feel like you will never heal from this, that this makes you cold-hearted and lose your compassion, you will heal from it. You're a warrior. And you have what it takes to heal from the situation. I think you'll be surprised how quickly things progress when you set this boundary and kick this person to the curb in whatever, or the situation, if that applies to you in whatever way that applies, right? How quickly the stress and anxiety will dissipate, your own worry about it, beating up on yourself. And I also think that in the same vein, this person is experiencing a type of delusion and disconnect that they also need to learn how to be strong like you are. And you're preventing that opportunity for them to learn and gain in resilience, emotional resilience. And, they can't have a happy family or a happy relationship with themselves or with others if any little, breeze breaks their branches. They need to learn emotional resilience, and this is what can teach them that. What'll be the outcome spiritually for Aries Sun? Mastery. Mastery. This is you are at this level of giving and compassion where if you manage to do this, whatever this is has got to be really fucking hard. If this is like a child or a parent or a spouse or someone very, very beloved to you, someone that you feel a great responsibility for or something like that, this is master class, hardcore insanity, difficulty on the game. Like this, you're at the top tier of this learning process. You've already proven yourself in so many ways to be loving towards others, to be loving towards self, to have a compassionate heart, to have a gentle understanding. And now the last test is to learn to love through abandoning someone, because that is the most loving thing that is needed for that person. To break their heart and yours, because at the end of the day, it's what's best for everybody. Fuck yeah. Damn. This is crazy. All right, let's get some other advice for you to wrap this up. Aries Sun. Let's get a card for Aries Sun. Star Brothers, Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. All right, let me get my little book out for this. These have numbers? No, I think it's alphabetical. You're more protected than you can imagine. It's safe to open the back of your heart. You're being called to be open to receiving a new level of support now from those in your life and from the benevolent beings you're connected with. You know, if that's, I mean, this deck for me is a little bit too much in the aliens. Okay, I'm not really an alien supporter or fan. No shade to those who are. But for me, this would be my ancestors, my guides, my loved ones in spirit, and even like my family members that are here, like, you know, parents and siblings and my spouse and, you know, my closest friends. Like this, it's whatever applies to you. Okay. Just going forward with this particular deck. It's however that applies to you. Through ancestral patterning, current life traumas, and past life karmic impressions, which we saw, you saw your own trauma in this person. Many of us have become mistrustful and suspicious of loyalty and have blocks when it comes to receiving support. We have learned that we need to go at life alone, that it's not safe to let our guard down and our heart open, that the world isn't a friendly place. And like, I think that there's an aspect of this to why you were so willing to go all in on this person is because they were showing you like that part of yourself where you were like, I have to rely on myself because other people can't be relied upon. That hurt you. It made you very strong, but it hurt you. And that was some part of yourself that maybe you thought, hey, I healed from that. That was many years ago. We're chilling, whatever. It's back. It's back with a vengeance because that part was still not completely healed because you saw someone that was about to go through it and you said, nope, I'm stepping in. I'm protecting you from that. I don't want you to have to feel that way. You know, we've learned, oh yeah. The Star Brothers want you to have a new experience of life on Earth. They want you to feel deeply secure and safe, even if you're going through a difficult time. They want you to hand over your fears to them, to see them as opportunities to let in more love. They're guiding you to stay open to receiving a greater level of support than you can ever imagine, both in this world and beyond. To call in your team of loyal protectors and supporters, both physically and energetically. They want you to learn to soften through life's ups and downs and to learn to open your heart, especially when it most wants to harden. How can you open yourself to receiving more support? This is such a crazy, crazy card to get for this situation because you've been in need of support. And like, maybe there are those around you that are trying to give it, but there's a part of you that's just like, no, because that's painful for some reason. And or no, because I don't trust you. No, because I thought I could rely on someone and then they fucked me. Or, oh, yeah. Ouch. Yeah, I thought I could rely on someone and they fucked me over, is what it is. And you don't want to do that to this person because it's wounding. It's you have become the evil, right? As like, you know, your thought on the matter. I think at this time you have to look at how strong that situation made you, how self-reliant you became, and how setting aside the mistrust, it gave you many gifts. And you can learn to trust again because you're in a different scenario now. You can trust much more easier when you already know that if someone betrays you, you're going to be all right. And that's why you're in a totally new situation now. When you were betrayed before, you didn't have self-reliance. You needed that person. You were relying upon them. You didn't rely on yourself at that time. You didn't have your own income. You didn't have your own house. You didn't have your own self-love, a source of self-love, especially that. You were relying on other people affirming you or you know, giving you some sort of status in society, telling you were beautiful or wonderful or strong, handsome, needed. And because you weren't giving those things to yourself, when they stopped giving them to you, you were fucked. But you won't be this time. You're in a safe place to trust others because if they do choose in their free will choice, that may very well happen. I'm not here to tell you that, letting someone in and they'll never hurt you again. Like, they can't hurt you the same way again. No one can. Because you learn to love yourself first and to rely on yourself first. You learn to take care of yourself, to survive, to fight. And that's what this person needs too. And then if you look at the full circle, you needed that betrayal to learn how important self-reliance was. This person needs you to betray them. They need you to betray them to learn how important self-reliance is. Nothing less will do it. Holy shit, I really enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful for you, Aries. If you like that, I'm also doing Venus sign readings at the middle of the month. And then if I have time, I probably won't this month, but next month I'll be doing all the rising sign readings for monthly checkups. And thank you so much for being here. If you liked it, like and subscribe and all that shit. I'll see you next time. Bye.